Vance and Maya are both rookie treasure hunters. Hailing from different regions, they arrive in Havenlock City and are brought together by circumstance to cooperate. In last week's video, we covered the interaction system. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. This week, however, we're going to take a deeper look at Vance and Maya's unique form factors. Here we go. To structure the characters of Project Grand Vault, we created 4 form factors that support their function and ideology. These are character trait, skill stance, primary skill, and custom resource. In our third video, we went over the Xenos gauge and how it governs the use of Vance and Maya's powers, but specifically, it enables the use of their trait. Traits are largely dependent on the character's natural talents, and if applicable, center on their Xenos abilities. Vance's trait is Transform. When activated, Vance's body becomes covered in an organic armor. Rather than represent this through a boost in his defense stat, the armor's benefit is reflected through the overlay of an armor gauge, which sits above his HP. As long as Vance has his armor active, all damage will be deferred to the armor gauge, keeping Vance's HP safe from harm. Should the armor gauge reach 0, Vance is kicked out of his armor, and the Xenos gauge will be reset, creating a form of cooldown for his armor's activation. However, if his armor is not completely destroyed, Vance's armor will repair itself over time, if no damage is sustained. Vance's armor not only helps to mitigate damage, but it also greatly enhances his physical strength. When using heavy strikes with his armor active, Vance is able to strike with increased force. However, the sheer power of these strikes does cause Vance to take some recoil damage. This recoil damage will never completely destroy Vance's armor, but it can place him into a vulnerable position. This turns the armor gauge into a resource that players will need to balance the exertion of, and decide if the risk is worth the reward. Skill stances vary in their application, but are focused on the execution of a character's style of play or power set. As a melee brawler, Vance's skill stance is Guard. Guard puts Vance into a defensive position, which reduces damage coming from the front at the cost of stamina. As Vance's armor continues to grow more fortified, it can block a higher percentage of that incoming damage. Primary skills represent the core of a character's abilities and are a raw expression of their characteristics. Vance is a close-range fighter who is quite capable, but is often reckless. His primary skill is Charge Punch. Focusing all of his strength, he releases the energy into a single focused punch. While powerful, players will be required to time the release of the punch to effectively use this skill, as a poorly timed charge will only be slightly stronger than a basic attack. While a perfect charge is incredibly powerful, Vance is vulnerable during the charging period. Players will need to take care knowing when and when not to go for the perfect charge. As we mentioned in our video for week 3, Maya has the power of water generation and manipulation. Her Xenos gauge represents her body's generation of water power. Once it is full, she has 1 water point to spend. As the player progresses through the story, Maya unlocks water canteens, which act as a sort of ammo supply for her abilities. Water points can be restored through the use of items and picking up water point pickups. Her trait, Siphon, allows her to pull water from the environment. If water point pickups are within a specified range, Maya can pull them to her using Siphon. Additionally, at designated environment points, Maya is able to pull water from environmental sources, completely refilling her water points to their max level. Maya's skill stance is Aim, which pulls the camera into an over-the-shoulder perspective. From this stance, Maya is able to execute the majority of her abilities, granting the player a greater degree of control for aiming. Maya is focused and precise in her actions. Using her power to manipulate water to her advantage, her primary skill is Stream. Using 1 water point, Maya fires a single burst of water at a high velocity, granting her the benefit of dealing damage from a great distance. And that brings this week's video to its end. I hope you enjoyed getting an in-depth look at the unique perspectives offered by Vance and Maya. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It will help Project Grand Vault get more attention here on YouTube. You can also subscribe to get updates on when we post new content. We do game streaming on weekday nights, so feel free to drop in and say hello. And we do also have a weekly podcast, where we get together for some enjoyable conversations, which are not always gaming related. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you all next week.